Good afternoon and welcome to The Starving Student. My name is Lauren Murphy and today we're going to have a soup and sandwich extravaganza. Now, something really cool about these videos I've been making is that YouTube has a whole analytics thing where they show you your demographics of who watches your videos, and I just think that's super cool. So, I discovered that 66% of my audience are females between 18 and 24. Dear females who are between 18 and 24, I have invited one of my very handsome and very single male friends to help me cook today. Will Furiosi is going to help me cook. This is Will. Wave hi, Will.
Hi.
This is Will. Will has a fabulous healthy recipe for a sandwich. Come on closer. We're gonna get snuggly.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm gonna make some awesome vegetable soup. So we are both students. We're both starving, so we're gonna get started. So right now we're going to start on our soup, and we need to look at our soup ingredients. You can point at them and go, if you want. Fabulous. Okay, we have some Florida celery, which was on sale for 99 cents today. Yay! We have some diced tomatoes. We have a large russet potatoes, very large potato. We have, oh gosh, we're knocking stuff over. We have some quinoa, which is a protein-filled grain from Central America. It's very fabulous. Kind of like a pasta, kind of like a rice, but it's really good for you. And it's organic, and we're going to put it in our soup, and it's going to be great. We have that. We have some basil pesto, which was also on sale. We have some Better Than Bouillon, because it's a little better for you than beef broth, and it's super concentrated. It's going to give our soup a lot of flavor. Finally, we have some frozen vegetables, which are very chilly on my hands and melting. But frozen vegetables are a really great way to get all your vegetables in a really inexpensive way. And lucky for us, they were all 50% off today. So, awesome! Alright, we're going to start off with our fabulous olive oil to coat the bottom of our stock pot here. Just 2 tablespoons are enough around the bottom of the pan once.
Why do you coat the bottom of the pot?
We coat the bottom of the pot so that we can saute our fabulous veggies and so that it doesn't all stick. The oil is going to give a nice, emulsion in our soup, and it's going to give a lot of flavor. Great question, Will. All right, we've already chopped up some onions and some celery because I don't want to cry in front of you guys. I don't know you that well. Maybe I do. But anyway, have our onions, we have our celery, we have a pan that William is going to use. We're going to get that starting to saute. So, it'll be fabulous. So Will, we talked about this a little bit earlier. Where did you learn to cook?
Well, I actually had to teach myself because take the advice from your parents to learn how to cook before you come to college, because once you do, you get really hungry really quick.
And we're back. Our vegetables are sizzling in our pot, and they're going to get nice and translucent and caramelized, and then we're going to add in the rest of our ingredients. So we all know what translucent is. Hopefully we took physics and we know all about, opaque things and things like that. So we want our onions and celery to be just a little bit see-through and nice and tender, and that's going to be great for our soup. So they're getting nice and sizzly. We're going to mix them on up. So Will, why don't you tell us about your fabulous sandwich that you're going to make for us today?
Well, one of my many aspirations is to own a restaurant. Don't ask me why. But, so I decided to come up with recipes that I would use in my restaurant, if I do ever get one. And one of which is a blackened chicken sandwich with peppers and onions on top on a whole grain bread with, oh gosh, can't remember what my own recipe is.
Spicy deli mustard.
With spicy deli mustard on it. So first we start with the actual blackened seasoning, which I found on about.com. Basically you have onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, pepper and salt, cayenne, and chili powder. And you can get a really good base recipe on the about.com website. I've used it so many times now, I kind of just mix it and basically taste it to see if it's good. So that's what we'll be putting on the chicken for blackening. I need a good picture.
Sounds good. While you're getting that chicken, Will, I'm going to let our viewers know that our fabulous veggies are now soft and ready to put in some stock. So we have Better Than Bouillon, and it works just like a bouillon cube. We have 1 cup of water for 1 teaspoon of bouillon. So we're going to add about 4 cups of water and 4 teaspoons of bouillon. We're going to add our diced tomatoes, and then we're going to start chopping some potatoes so we can put in there while Will finishes up his sandwich.
So we'll start by pan frying the chicken. So just put a splash of olive oil in. And random fact, I've kept this small little bottle of olive oil ever since freshman year of college. Don't ask me how, because I use it a lot, but it's lasted. So put the pan on medium high, put a little splash in to coat the bottom. And then feed it around.
Fabulous.
So I should let this pan heat up a little bit more.
Probably a good idea.
So
It's always
switch.
better to have a hot pan, that's for sure.
Switch to cutting pepper because I wasn't as proactive as Lauren and didn't have all my vegetables cut before the start of the show.
That's
So-
okay. It's your first time, Ricky. Don't worry about it.
Oh gosh. It's been a long time since I've been a rookie at anything.
Really? Because I played softball with you on Tuesday and it didn't seem to be the case.
Yeah, it did. Just okay. So, it's a really big knife to cut this green pepper with. Showing off my rookie skills.
That's okay.
So, just cut out the center, pull out the seeds. Go this way.
And I've finished adding our Better Than Bouillon, which is very concentrated vegetable broth. You can use a beef broth if you want. They also make a beef version. I like this because they can make vegetarian dishes and not have any of the beef or the chicken if people don't necessarily want it. It's just also got really great, it's like mushrooms and a bunch of other really concentrated vegetables. Great flavor. So, carry on, Will.
So, I just cut these into nice little slices. Trying not to press on it too hard or you'll crack the pepper. I don't like using that because it doesn't look attractive. And I'm switching knives because this isn't sharp enough. So this is what's going to be coating our chicken on our sandwich. And I leave the seeds in just because I feel like they have some kind of good properties that we don't want to miss.
I agree with that. I love pepper seeds.
So put that off to the side. Actually, I'll put that in here. I think our pan is now hot enough. So what I basically do is I have my seasoning right before I put it on. Basically, I don't coat it in anything except the seasoning. Just sprinkle it on a little bit. A little too much. Oops. And then I'll plop it right down. And then I do the other side as well. So when I have to flip it, I can do that.
Very nice.
Now I'm just trying to spread around the oil.
So you have all of those ingredients pre-made in that little jar right there.
Yes.
Awesome.
Which I happen to snag from a
Look
restaurant.
at you. How about I do this since you have raw chicken hands?
Yeah, even though I'm going to get another chicken.
That's okay. Always pleased to be sanitary. FYI, I'm adding the diced tomatoes to our soup.
So, another one, a little too much. But it doesn't really hurt because this spice isn't that spicy. It balances well with the salt. So, sprinkle that on there. You may be wondering why I have the chicken in a Ziploc baggie. One of the useful tricks that I did listen to my dad about was when you buy chicken, or any kind of meat for that matter, you get it home out of the packaging, clean it up the way you want, and then partition it into daily amounts that you would use to cook a meal. So I'm using this much chicken, actually I kind of cut a little too much, to make my meal. So I would package that up, generally one breast cut in half, and then put it in the freezer. So whenever I want to make a meal, I would just pull it out, let it thaw, and I'll be ready to go without any cleaning necessary. So we're just going to let that cook.
Sounds good.
Put this in there.
That's a very great tip for students who are super busy,
Yeah.
like ourselves, who are involved in many things. That's definitely something I'm going to do now.
He's teaching the teacher.
There you go. Alright, so our soup is looking nice. We have our diced tomatoes, our veggies, our onions, our celery, our better than bouillon. And now if we want to have it a little more watered down, we can add some more water and bouillon. I think this is going to be good just the way it is. So we're going to chop up a potato, add that in here. That's going to take kind of a long time to cook all the way. But we're also going to add our quinoa. And so, like I said, quinoa is a nice little grain. It's from Central America. Has lots of protein in it. And we're just going to add a handful like we would pasta or barley or any other grain you would add to a soup. So just add a nice hearty handful. And go sticky. And stir that around. Now we're also going to add some spices. So we've got our staple four, our onion powder, garlic powder, salt and pepper. And usually I add a little bit of basil, but because we're going to add some pesto in at the very end, we don't need to do that yet. Fabulous. Your chicken smells great, Will.
Thanks. The seasoning. And also another helpful tip is know your kitchen, because I kind of need to flip my chicken, and I have no clue where a spatula is.
Oh! I happen to have the biggest spatula in the entire world.
Which I do not use right now. I'll just use this all around.
Fine. If you want to make garbage can pancakes, then you can do that.
So I like to look and see when the chicken starts to whiten around the edges. I kind of cut this slice a little too thin, so almost white all the way through. So we'll flip that. And you can see here it's whiter on the edges, so that kind of gives me a hint as to when to flip. So I shall flip.
Oh gosh, it smells so good.
And while that's finishing, we need the cheese. Which I have opened already.
Cheese. As always, we're having issues with the onion powder. I don't know why I just don't throw this away and get new onion powder. This literally happens every single week. Look at you! Will, you are such a sweetheart. Look at you. I need to invite you over more often. Making me sandwiches and bringing me onion powder. Look at you.
Always
Yay.
prepared.
You are super prepared.
So, one of the things I like most about this recipe is that it brings in a lot of flavors and accents everything really well together. So we have sharp cheddar cheese on top of the chicken with the vegetables and the spicy mustard all coming together to bring a really robust flavor in your mouth. So I'll apply the cheese, the chicken.
Fabulous. Gosh, it smells great.
And while that is melting, I'm going to get a plate.
Fabulous. I'm going to chop that potato over there while you are doing that.
Okay. And since that is going to be done relatively soon, I'm going to get the bread out. You can have this just right out of the bag. I like to use 15 grain bread, the healthiest of them all. I think it doesn't have enriched flour, which is bad for you. So this is my bread of choice. Do you have a toaster?
We do have a toaster.
I like to toast it just because, I don't know, it adds good texture to it.
Agreed. Now, Will, you've been talking a lot about how healthy things are and where they get their nutritional value. What major are you? Can you tell everybody?
I am a molecular microbiology major with a minor in coaching
You hear that, ladies?
and business.
I'm just
So
saying.
I basically do a little bit of everything.
This boy's going places. Get on it. Anyway.
Want to be really weird?
What?
No.
Okay. We're not worrying about it, apparently. Okay.
So this is actually done before our bread is done. So let's put this off to the side. Cheese is all nice and melted.
Cheese.
As I was talking to Lauren before the show, I'm a really big advocate of cleaning as you go, so you have a reduced mess when you're done cooking. Fortunately, this pan is way too hot and I don't want to burn it, so I'm just going to put it in.
Yeah, is that how we're going to do it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, just leave it there.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Well, our stove is full. Am I using your toaster right?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
It's pointed to toast and you've pressed the button. So you're good to go.
Well, it's a toaster oven, not a toaster.
That's true.
Not as high-tech in my kitchen.
That's okay. I'm chopping the potatoes into bite-sized pieces for our soup. You want to make sure that they're very tiny pieces, otherwise they are going to take forever to cook up. And they're definitely not going to be done in time for our sandwiches. But we can still eat the soup without the potatoes. We can just kind of strain them out because they're big and easy to see. Woo. And we can still have soup and sandwiches. So the great thing about soup is you can make it the day before. You can even make it, you can even make it the week before, and soup just gets better as it sits. So that's one of my favorite things about making soup. And it's also a really light soup. We don't have, a thick roux or anything like that, which is a thickener in French, for those of you who are not aware of that. Yeah, so it's a very light soup. It's perfect for spring. Even though it's warm outside, soup is going to warm your heart and it's going to fill you with yummy vegetables and it's just going to be fabulous. So, Will, do you want to ask me questions so we can have witty banter?
Well, you certainly did put me on the spot and made me lose any questions that I might have had. So tell me, where did you learn how to cook? Because I already let you know about my
That's true.
background.
My mom taught me how to cook. She is a nurse, and she also does dietitian and nutrition work. So I learned a lot from her. She worked really hard and always came home and had dinner on the table, even though she worked full time. And it was mostly just me and her most of my childhood, and we had a great time. She would come home from work and I would help her cook, and we played this game called the Spice Game, and she would have me close my eyes and she would bring different spices up to my nose and have me smell them and see if I could guess what they were.
Sounds like it could be dangerous.
One time I played it with her and I opened the cat treats and I had her smell cat treats, and then we never played again. So I learned my lesson. Don't be a you know what when you're a kid. But my mom, liked a certain other flavors and she liked to mix it up, and so she wanted to cook for her family and she got to do that, and so she learned a lot of different things. I've learned a lot of different things too from my time in college and my time in high school. I had a lot of friends who were guys because I didn't really like girl drama quite so much, so I made a lot of food and I had a lot of dinner parties and had a lot of people come over and eat yummy things, and it was more of a social thing for me to learn how to cook, and I'm really glad that I did.
You definitely do make delicious meals.
Thank you, Will.
So my toast is done. I actually realized I needed a second set of bread, so I put that in, and as a result I now have one that's a little too toasted and one that's a little under toasted.
I'll take the under toasted one.
Well, great minds think alike. That's the one I was looking forward to too.
This is awkward. Okay.
No, that's fine.
I hate burned things, but I'll eat it.
So do I. No, I'll eat it. So
what
now,
a gentleman!
Now we're ready.
What a gentleman!
So now we're ready to top off the sandwich. Just put a few onion slices on here. a couple of pepper slices, which I kind of cut this a little too fat. Kind of makes it unappealing when you bite into a huge pepper and miss everything else.
No fat sandwiches.
But I'm giving that to Lauren because she's getting the lightly toasted one.
Sounds good.
So, finish that. And then we have our deli style mustard, which Publix is the only one, interesting fact, that has deli style mustard. I don't know the difference between Dijon mustard, spicy brown mustard, and deli style mustard because they all look the same.
That's true.
So,
But deli style is the best mustard, in my
that's
opinion.
true. That's really hard to get off. So just sprinkle a little bit of that on there. Not too much because you don't want your mouth on fire. And that is the chicken sandwich.
Yum! Yay, that looks so good. Thank you, Will.
You're welcome.
Yay! Well, our soup is cooking away. What we're gonna do is put this soup on for another half an hour. We're gonna put a lid on it. The lid should be down here somewhere. Here it is. Alright, we're gonna keep cooking that on medium, so around 5 for like half an hour until your potatoes are tender. So when we serve it, we're going to put a little bit of our pesto right on top, and we're gonna have it with our sandwich. So that is your fabulous Panera, better than Panera sandwich and soup combo. Kind of like a You Pick Two. We should call ourselves that. You Pick Two because we're like a team now of people,
We could do
and
that.
there's 2 of us.
It's really witty.
And I picked you to come over.
That's true.
I guess I only picked one then.
And we get more than a half sandwich.
We do get more than a half sandwich, so that's
So,
great. And we
it's better
have
than You
like
Pick Two.
6 servings of soup in here, so that's fabulous. So the soup and sandwiches will come closer, man. Come closer. No, it's okay. The soup and sandwiches are going to feed you for a long time, and it'll be very delicious. So if you have any other questions, feel free to email me or comment on this video. But this has been The Starving Student. I'm Lauren Murphy. This is Will. You can introduce yourself. It's okay.
And I'm Will Furiosi.
He just made me a sandwich. I'm pretty excited about it. So thank you so much, Will, for joining me on this episode of The Starving Student. Enjoy your soup and salad. Enjoy your pesto with your soup and salad. And it'll be very delicious. What?
Soup and sandwich.
Soup. Oh.
She was
Soup and
complimenting me
sandwich.
so
Okay,
much.
sorry. We'll make a salad some other time.
It's okay.
Bye.
Bye.